Thank you very much, Master of the Ceremony. Good morning to everyone here present. The Vice Chairman, all the councillors here present from the Council and all the senior management staff that are also present. Councillor for Nyambai Ward, Honorable Mamadou Jao, the Nyambai Ward Development Committee members, as well as the beneficiary football teams from Nyambai Ward. We thank you all for coming. Not forgetting the secretary or the chairperson of the Brikama Sports Committee, Mr. Yusuf. We acknowledge your presence. Good morning to you all. Firstly, we want to congratulate the beneficiary teams for the items that they've received today. And we also want to commend Nyambai Ward's Development Committee for coming up with the idea of empowering the youth of Nyambai through sport. Now, this is one of the objectives of the World Development Fund. The reason why I was passionate and key supporter of it is because I know if we had to do everything at the council level, these are some of the small but very important, very significant development or funding or sponsorships that we might have forgotten or oversighted. That is such support geared towards the youth for sports development in our region or in our wards. We would have been thinking about a lot of other things like maybe drainage, how we manage waste, and some other things, infrastructural development. And things of this nature always oversights. We tend to forget them quite easily, but these are very, very significant. And the fact that I am here presiding over it made me realize how important this is. And I know that a lot of ward development committees around the region may not have thought about this, but this might inspire a lot of them to also venture into it in their next disbursement. This is as a promise. It is not something we brag about, but it's something that we are proud to be part of or be the pioneers of it, to ensure that it is now institutionalized in Brikama area country. That every year, ward development committees are provided with the necessary funds that they are able to look after some of these needs of their people. And this is a very important or a dire need of the youth of the region. Like Jao said, you would have some sport or football teams that would have only one jerseys for many, many years. And they hardly get a sponsorship from anywhere in order for them to have another one. So if this becomes a continuous thing, it will motivate a lot of youths into football. And we know football now, it is an avenue or one industry that can easily turn people into millionaires overnight. We have seen it. The likes of Yankuba Minte, Musa Barrow are millionaires overnight. Just today or yesterday, I was reading an article written by a media house in Kenya called Daily Motion. And they were talking about how a tiny Gambia became the #1 producer of talent in Africa now. Because they compared the population of Gambia to just one city in Kenya. And then that city has over Nairobi has 3.something million. So Nairobi is bigger. And then there's another one called Kiamba or something, is also bigger than the Gambia. And then, but yet still Gambia has, they said, over 280 professional footballers across Europe. And then a country that big and more developed like Kenya could not produce that number. And they are trying to figure out what is the formula that Gambia had utilized. I mean, this is something that which could now increase that number. And we are indeed very proud as a regional municipal council to be associated with this. And hopefully, this will not be just one-off this year, but that every year, that the Nyambai Ward Development Committee, we will encourage them to provide this sort of support to the teams that we have in Nyambai every year. As the Vice Chairman stated, Brikama South also, that is the Suba Ward, are already inspired. They haven't received their allocation yet, but they're also thinking about it. And Nyambai still has a 500,000 that is still not given to them yet. So $500,000 of Nyambai, that is your last year's award which hasn't been given yet. So that also will be disbursed. But I think next year the hope is we will give more than $1 million next year. Either 1.5 million or 2 million. But the only way we can get to 2 million is that every one of you should now be an ambassador of the council. You have to tell people that everybody needs to pay their fair share of the rates and the value property rates and then the revenue, their share of taxes. Because the taxes are coming back to benefit the community. It's coming back to benefit their own children. So it is worthwhile showing the justice to our parents to show them that this comes from the area council. And thanks to the taxes and the rates that you've paid, we are able to get this thing. And we are also able to wear this with pride. So we want that to happen so that next year, instead of maybe one justice, you might end up having 2 justices or even 3 justices. It's all a possibility if we all pay our fair share of the taxes, because it is going to come back to the communities. So on that note, I want to thank once again the Nyambai Ward Development Committee for coming up with this brilliant idea of gesture. If it is left to council alone, we would not have been able to think about this, because too many things would have occupied our minds. But decentralization, this is the advantage. You might sit here and think that you know all the problems or the priority needs of the people of Nyambai. But here again, the people of Nyambai said, our youths to have very good jerseys to play in the football, that is a priority needs of our people, and it is something that we want to prioritize. And it is witnessing it today, I am even more inspired. And thank you all for coming. Thank you very much to everybody. And hopefully, more will be coming inshallah. Thank you.